The skeleton of sales remains through the centuries the same. Regardless what you are selling, is it oranges, is it complex software solutions, or is it rocket technology, the soft skills that are needed, the sales techniques and tactics that you are going to use as a salesperson in order to sell your product or service remain the same. What, however, changed is that the complexity of the solutions that are being sold nowadays require a sales script. They make it inevitable to use one. However, what happens is that many salespeople fall in a trap, and the trap is that they read from their sales script, they are telling and not selling, and they sound like a robot. My name is Alex Valasidis. I'm an expert sales consultant and managing director of vParagon, the sales outsourcing company that can expand and accelerate your sales in Europe. In this video, I am going to show you how you are going to get rid from the sales script and start selling easily and effectively your complex software solutions. Stay with me. Nowadays, inside a technology company, and you start talking with all those people that are involved in the creation and the development of this complex software that they are selling, they're going to have issues and problems with the guys that sell the solution. They are going to doubt their competitiveness, and they are freaked out from their knowledge on the product. They do have a point. However, they also miss some other points. Let me explain. First of all, let us understand from what consists the work of a salesperson that tries through a cold approach sell a complex software solution. So, as a rule of thumb, the situation is this. Out of 100 contacts that you are going to make, 10% of those prospects that you are going to contact are going to show some kind of interest, so that eventually 1% is going to buy. That means that the salesperson that you have, that every time that he places a call, prepares himself to give his analytical, complex sales pitch, 90% of the times does not even do that. 90% of the times he's involved in everything else than doing this complex sales pitch. What does he do? He lands on voicemails, he writes emails that are not responsive, or he talks with secretaries. In order to have this 10% time to go through the analytical sales pitch. Now, that brings us on point number 2. The pre-sales person that we have in our company, the software guy, the technology specialist that we have, is he willing to go through this process and spend 90% of the time talking to voicemails and to secretaries? And how willing is he to do that? Does he have the soft skills? What is his opinion for this work? How does he look this work? So we have here a basic problem. Those people that do know the technology very good are not willing to do the sales job that is required in order to be able to place an effective sales pitch. Selling software today has the following scheme.
First of all, we have the inside sales team. Those are the spearhead of the organization, are those salespeople that are going to go through all the difficulties, the rejection, the gatekeepers, the secretaries, the voicemails, and the unresponsiveness in order to be able to introduce the solution to the prospect and organize a second technical presentation, an in-depth presentation with the technical advisor or the pre-sales team of the organization, where all the details of the product are going to be explained to the prospect. After that, most of the times is a period of follow-up where primarily, again, the inside sales team takes the lead, but also other departments are getting involved as the pre-sales team, the technical department, but also the legal department or the CEO level of the organization in order to eventually achieve the closing of the deal. This is a process that can last from some weeks to maybe a year or even more, depending on the size of the project and the complexity of the solution.
Now, how can you sell a complex software solution by avoiding to use a dry script? Let me explain. First of all, set a time period. Dedicate yourself and preset a specific time of period where you are going to study and learn about the products. Those people that are going to buy the product and those people that are selling the product are people that studied in the university for years, software solutions for years, programming, and you are going to be unable to learn in a month or a week or a couple of months what they learned in years of studying and working experience. So, define a period of time that you are going to invest in learning about the product. Secondly, once you have defined the time that you are going to invest in learning about the product, learn as much as you can about the product. That means get from the company that you are working together as much information as you can get. Sit down, read, try to understand as much as you can. Ask the technology advisors, ask the other people that work in the company and know the product better than you. Ask them questions, generic questions, specific questions, all kinds of questions that you have in order to learn as much as you can about the product. Search also in Google about the product and similar products. Try to find also what the competitors are selling and where the competitors are better than you are or they are worse than you are. Try to gather all this information, write down scripts, print documents, underline them, and learn as much as you can. Once you are done with this phase, we come in phase number 3. In phase number 3, you should define what you should know very good and which topics you shouldn't dive in. Because by diving in specific topics, you are going to end on a dead end. If you're talking to a client that has a very deep knowledge about a complex software solution, you, with your 1 or 2 week knowledge about the solution, if you dive in, you are going to go nowhere. So, put a frame on what you need to know and on things that you don't know. It's better to say, I don't know about this topic. That is why I'm calling you, in order to organize a second call where our specialist is going to explain to you in depth and analytically what this product does. So separate what you need to know and the areas where you are not going to dive deeper. Fourth, create 2 types of documents. The most important document that you need to create is what I call the one-page notes sheet. In this one page, you are going to create circles with the most important topics that you are going to go through your sales pitch. There are going to be little circles that are going to have just a header inside. Here is a sample of that. Besides of this document, you are going to create a second document. In this second document is going to go analytical on these specific topics that you defined on the one-page notes sheet. So in case you need more information, in case you forgot something, you are going to run to document number 2 and be able to read there what you need to say in your sales pitch. Important is, say your sales pitch in your own words. Be yourself. Do not follow a strict, dry sales script, because you are going to sound like a robot. You are not going to sell, you are going to tell about the product. And that is not what we want. Now, what is the difference here between following this method and reading out of a dry, complex, strict sales script? The difference is, by using the one-page note sheet, you have the liberty on delivering the pitch the way you understand it and the way you say it. And you have additionally the help with the extra page that you created there. You don't read from a page script. You don't sound a robot. You don't tell. You sell. Now, if you are going to make mistakes, doesn't matter, because those mistakes that you are going to make are less worse than a robot reading a page. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues. Do comment please below this video, and please subscribe on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. This is Alex Valasidis from B Paragon.